Good evening, folks. Cliff here with Foxit Outdoors. It is Wednesday, October the 2nd. It is about noonish, quarter past noon. It's 80 degrees outside. It is freaking warm. Figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an actual update video instead of little short clips of what's going on. Main part is I'm working on this shade structure here. I'll be finishing this up in the next couple of weeks, depending on how much I work on it daily. I have my back wall frame. I just got to put the last support in there and then mount it. I have to readjust this one to about right there and then work on making a door frame. I got my partial trellis set up for there. And then up here, again, this is all going to be trellised in and shaded. I have the particular trellis that I'm using, which is way back here. I'll get you guys a little bit of a close-up on that so you can see what I'm talking about. Or sorry, lattice. I guess lattice paneling, but 3x3 squares. And this will go all around the whole shade house, along with the shade curtain. So this stuff here, that'll go around it as well. Give me double layer of shade and a little bit of strength and rigidity so the wind doesn't blow everything apart. Aside from that, limes are my key limes are key liming. I've been pulling these things, have been falling off, but yeah, they're pretty much done for the season at this point. I do have new flowers on here, which is kind of nice. So I've got some new pollinator spots there. They have been falling off. Like I said, I've already got about 8 or 10 of them have just popped off on their own. Then I have basil, lettuce, chives, and unfortunately my dead lime plant, which really made me mad because that one would have been an excellent plant next year. A couple of things over here. We've got the Tabasco peppers going crazy. Plant is getting huge, but starting to finally produce. I got carrots everywhere, onions, random greens, and I do mean random because I have no idea what they are. I got more carrots down in here. I probably have some in here somewhere too. Tons of lettuce. Looks like it's starting to bolt, which is kind of sad. One pea plant, which apparently has fallen off. Oh, I do got peas on there, so a couple of peas on there already. Redid my orange tree. Put my protective cone on here, my cone of protection. It's not going to keep the ants off of it, but it'll keep my bark from being blown away. I did have to re-add about 4 inches of dirt. Stupid ants, because the topping on the bark had about 3 or 4 roots under the bark, but above the soil, so I had to add a little bit of soil to that to give it some more coverage for the roots. But aside from that, I've got the shade screen on there. It'll keep the birds and everything else from digging in here. Won't stop the ants, but it'll keep them from doing what they need to do. And then I've got branches coming out here. I've got this one weird side branch, which I'm hoping this balances out and starts sending them out the other way as well. And then my topper is actually getting bigger. I've got a couple of new growth on here. I've got this guy here, that little one, and where did I see him? These two guys on the side over here. Give me a second, I'm going to readjust my camera. This is not, there we go. I think I was off a little bit, so my angle performance was a bit wonky. And then me and Jason are in a competition right now, aka Pest Hunter Outdoors, for peas. This is my batch, my secondary batch. He's got his in a nice raised bed, and they are doing fantastic. I just kind of sort of planted these in here to let them see what they do. They're not doing much, but they're doing. And then I got more lettuces over here, which have been in competition between me and the caterpillars. I have been picking out caterpillars left and right out of here for a couple of weeks. And every once in a while I miss one, and then they end up doing stuff like this, which is eating the tops of my lettuce. Nope, I actually have a, oh no, that's a carrot top. But aside from that, oop, I've got my other Tabasco plant. Looks like I need to water it. It's getting a little dry. I did harvest the carrot that was in here, and it looked absolutely horrid. It did not grow right. It had weird little bumps all over it. It looked like it had cancer, which kind of sucked. But I do have a couple of red ones in here somewhere. There's one there. I've picked a few of them off already. There's another one buried in here somewhere. I know. So I just got the one so far. And we'll make our way over this one. Hopefully this video won't be too long for you guys. I'm running out of memory, so got to keep it fairly short. Neighbor's making a crap ton of noise. But been trimming off of this thing. I just trimmed the bottom foot of it because, well, as you can see, that plant is essentially dead. I don't have any more green on it. So this sunflower tree is coming out. I will trim it all the way down to the main stem, and then probably just run it through my mulcher when it's 100% dry. There's no need to keep this one. It grew kind of crooked. So as you can see, it's got a nice funky curve to it. Not straight by any means. So I'll just turn that into mulch. And we got over here, we've got the squash and the beans. Oh, sorry, not squash. I guess squash, or acorn squash. Got that one ready to harvest. I pretty much need to harvest all of these. I got about 8 of them on here. So I've got the 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is way down here. So 6, 7, and this little guy right here, 8. So I'll have to get this guy harvested and cleaned up and getting everything starting to get ready for the winter season. I have a big old flat leaf parsley over here, and the funny thing is I don't remember even planting this at the beginning of the season or even mid-season. This thing just somehow grew over here and took off. So now I have this like 2-foot wide parsley bush, which is good because I'm going to need it for the seasoning when I have to make the Italian seasoning this coming winter. But my cowpeas are doing fantastic. They're starting to grow back down at the bottom. I've got 3 or 4 pods down there, and I've just been harvesting these throughout the season. So look, I got another one here. That one's about ready to be pulled. And then here is my other Tabasco pepper plant, and this thing it is loaded to bear. So I think what I'll do next year is I'm going to plant 2 of these over here on this side, just in this spot. They seem to like it. I might plant 2 different varieties over there, or I might just do what I'm doing here is I've got these cherry peppers, which you guys can see are doing fantastic, man. I have probably about 20 of them on here right now, about 3 or 4 of them ready to harvest. And all I've been doing is trimming off all of the excess branches from the bottom. So at the end of the season, this one here is going to get cut off. I'm not cutting it now because it does have a pepper on it. But at the end of the season, I will keep that, or I will cut that off, and I will keep it to the triple stem right here that I have. And I will trim that down to the basics of the Y. Oh no, sorry, it's not a triple. That's the post I have it against. So I'll trim it down close to the Y, and then I'm going to bring that one inside and hopefully start it off next season. See how big the root system is. I did have to prop it up with a pole because the wind kept trying to blow it over. But yeah, aside from that, I've got my other set of peas over here. Doing fairly good. Don't have any flowers on them just yet, but that doesn't mean they're not going to do anything soon. Just got to give them a little bit of water. It's a little dry in here this week. I have not had a chance to water too much because, well, as it's starting to cool off in the season, I don't like to give my plants water in the evenings much anymore because I don't want them to freeze at night. We do get down to about 50s, low 50s to mid 60s to high 60s some nights, so I don't want to kill my plants too bad. Mint is still doing fantastic. I kind of accidentally sort of almost killed that one, but it's still alive. Corn has done absolutely nothing for me. This whole test scenario for this corn was mad failure this year. The radishes did fairly good. I got none of my peppers popped up in here except for this little guy and that little guy. And then that one is a bell pepper. And then I've got one fairly decent radish here, which I need to harvest. Over here I have my black turtle bush beans, and I've got a couple of pods here and there. You can see them kind of sort of throughout. There's a couple back there. Not doing so well on this crop is also mainly due to the fact that I don't think I have enough soil, and it just gets too dry, so I have to shift this whole framework about 6 inches up, so I have shade on both sides. And then that bean bush over there, that's another black turtle bush bean. This one actually kind of grew. I need to get this thing watered. Oh, she is dry as a bone. But yeah, I've got a couple of decent pods on here, so I'll see what I get off of this one. I'm definitely gonna have to soak her today. I guess I missed watering it yesterday, where that kind of sucks. That was my fault. And then my seasoning bush, I got more flat leaf parsley there, and then onions, or chives, sorry. Mint is looking a little dry. Gonna have to work on that. And this guy is being picked clean by the birds. So I'll leave that for another week or two, and then that'll be the end of this sunflower plant. My other patches of mint, my other corn, which if you guys really want to see how bad I did, I'll show you right now. Look at these. These aren't even good corn. They're like clones, and they're just doing something weird, and I don't even know anymore. But on the plus side, my loofahs are doing well. I got some gorgeous flowers up here. This is actually the first time I've seen the flowers, because I'm not out here in the mornings. But I got about 5 or 6 loofahs just growing. I do have to saturate all of this. It's all dry today. So that's why my leaves are looking a little sad in some spots, and you can kind of see the dryness of the plants up here. And then I do have a couple of zucchini squash. There's a few of them on here. This plant did not do as well as I was hoping it would do. I'm going to be rebuilding these boxes. I'm actually going to make some that are about 6 to 8 inches deep or wide, and then about 10 inches deep, maybe 12 inches deep. I've got materials to make these. This is why I have a little bit of a deeper box. I think these ones are too shallow and too tapered for a good root system for these plants, so they're not doing so well. This one, however, this one threw me off. This one over here is my honeydew, or I don't know, honeydew with the freaking, these things, melons. It's a melon plant of some sort. This one did really good, surprisingly. I have like 8 plants in here just growing. I still have about 4 or 5 in here. I got the main one back here in the corner. I got 1, 2 right here. Got another one right here. I got another one right next to it. And then I got one on the end over here. So I got like 5 or 6 plants in here, and this is doing fantastic. Got them all propped up in their little hammocks. That one's not going anywhere. And then I have one down here on a lower spot. That little one right. Oh, you guys can't even see it. I can barely even see it. I got this little guy here. He's tied up. Don't know if that one's going to get too big, but we'll see what happens. I still got a couple of months, another month and a half on the season, so we'll see. But I got this nice fat one right here. Doing absolutely fantastic. Didn't get as many as I wanted off of here this year, but again, testing the waters for certain planters and where they're at. My sweet potatoes, I'm gonna have to get ready to harvest these guys soon, because I think I'm already past the about 110 day mark, so I should be good on the harvest. And then I have my sad little whatever these ones were, pinto beans. Sorry about that. So I got pinto beans over here that didn't do so well. I think mainly just because I planted them too late, and then they got too shade covered by the sweet potatoes. And then again, failed corn experiment. More failed corn. This guy randomly decided it wanted to pop up, so yeah, I've got like a 2.5 foot tall chunk of corn over here. We'll see what it does. And then I did replant that rosemary, as I said, folks. So here's my new rosemary plant. A little bit bigger than what I started off with, but you know, it's going to take a while. This is a slow growing plant. These are kind of like oak trees. They can only grow so fast. But I'll give it a good heap of fertilizer over the winter, and hopefully during that time frame I can keep the sucker alive and get it to grow even better next year, because I'm really sad that I lost my rosemary plant. Nothing too spectacular here. These sunflowers are pretty much done for the season. I'll be trimming all of this stuff out today. And then we got the awesome jalapeno plant. I don't know if you guys can see a lot of it, but there are jalapenos everywhere on here. I do gotta water it. It's been a little dry, but trying to show you guys all the jalapenos, but they really don't show up because they're the same damn color as the leaves. And the sun's in a really, really bad spot right now. It's like it's above me, but not above me. Only because of getting close, you know, winter solstice and all that. So the sun's above, but below. And then I got 4 random bean plants over here. I think these were pinto as well. I honestly won't know or remember until I see something pop up. I just kind of threw these in here to see what they'll do for the season. But they're already starting to climb up the trellises. I got this one's going up pretty well. And that one's going. That guy's over there. Oh, my throat's drier than a desert right now. Like I said, failed corn experiments that are just doing whatever they're doing. And yeah, I'm not going to get much off of these. And then I got another sunflower tree over here. And then a couple of little Thai dragon peppers here and there. I'm going to take these guys out of here this season, and I'm going to put them in a container, and I'm going to grow them in the greenhouse or even inside the house itself. As I'm going to keep these guys going throughout the season. I want more of these, and I want these plants to get bigger. So I want big, nice bushes next year so I can harvest hundreds to hundreds of peppers on here. I mean, you can see the little peppers. I got a couple there, got 1 or 2 there. This one's got a few. Nothing on the back too, other than that one green one right in the middle. And then moving along, these 2 trees are doing fantastic. This one is pecan tree, and that one's a cottonwood, which started off last year about that tall. Now that thing's about 6 feet, give or take. I have a spider web on my phone. Working this way, we've got the secondary main garden now. My other sunflower tree. I got a forest back there. Potatoes, I believe these ones were purple potatoes. I have more onions, or chives, I guess. Onions. My ghost pepper plant, which does actually have a couple of ghost peppers on it. Little ones. There's one there. There's a little one back in. It's kind of hard to see it. There's right there the wiggly bit. Oh, and then I got another one here. And I got another one right there. And this one's actually been in this pot now for... I put it in last winter. So it's just stayed in this pot. I think I'm just going to keep it in here. I think it likes the pot. It's doing pretty good. So here in the pot it shall stay. And then moving on again, this is the best part of my season this year, is this absolute monstrosity of plantage. I have 3 of these. These things actually survived, all 3 plants. Started off with 10, planted 7, down to 3. These are, as they are known in the pepper world, these are Peter peppers. Aptly named by the shape of the front of the pepper, which looks like a wiener and a foreskin. Hate to say it, but that's what they look like. That's how the peppers grow. This one, to be honest, that is actually a prime example of almost a perfect pepper. I have a bigger one here. I have tons of these in here. Sometimes you get them that look really weird. Sometimes you get them look, kind of normal. But every once in a while you find one that's just absolute. Look, this is how they start off. And then they get that funny shape. But unfortunately, this was part of a contest I was going to be doing, but I didn't know if my peppers were actually going to make it, so I non-officially dropped out. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to keep some of these guys alive this season and hopefully get something off of them next year. But I'm definitely saving a couple of these for seeds. So I got an even, look at that, it's an old wrinkly one. But yeah, doing fantastic. I got 3. These are actually fairly good. So I'll trim these up to a certain spot and then we'll go from there next year. And back over here, ooh, I got a, oh man, what the hell? My basil, tons of them from old seeds. So this is non-GMO or we'll say heirloom seeds on these guys here. I think these ones were black beans. Not the black turtle bush beans. I think these were just straight up black beans. We'll see what they do. I got about 8 of them on here. They're just going. There's something over here clicking. Might be the birds. And then I have this absolute monstrosity of 4 sunflowers and 1. I kid you not, folks. You see all of these vines on here? All of this? All the way up my plant? Looks like a freaking rat nest up here. Literally all off of that. 1 plant. I did not plant 2 of these. I planted 1. And I probably have a mile worth of vines on here. And that is a morning glory. You can see I've got 1 there, and I've got another one right here. Sorry, folks, my throat is dry. And I got another one. Let's see if I can find it on my screen. I can't see squat on here. There we go. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Part of my sunflower harvest this season, or at least the stock harvest. I'll trim all that up, but pretty much at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mulch all of these. They're going to go in my little mulcher chipper thingy, and I'll just add them to the garden next year as a top cover or whatnot. And then we'll go over here, round her out to the other side, and then we'll finish this off because I've only got a couple more minutes left. More black turtle bush beans. I got a good couple of pods down here. See, look at this. I got a couple pods there, a couple pods down here. They're hard to see because of the shade. There you go. Don't close. My phone's overheating already, and I've only been out here 20 minutes. Tons of them. So I got a good start on these ones. I know how to do these. I think about 3 plants per tray on these ones, and that should do a fairly good yield off of those. And then we have more jalapenos. 1 standalone plant. Technically 3. I don't know. These ones just germinated way late. These 2 guys over here. But this main one here, I'm going to take this one out and I'm going to put him in a pot. Probably going to end up putting him in one of these. And then we'll just double, triple the size of that sucker next season. Because I really want jalapenos. I'm really enjoying them. Then my eggplant, doing really well over here despite the fact that the ants keep trying to kill it. And then my lemon tree. Check it out, folks. Look at my lemons. Starting to turn. Starting to turn. And I've got some massive lemons on here. Like some huge lemons. Like these are like, some of these are like tennis ball size. Like I got some huge ones on here. Little ones here, little ones there. Like a couple of big ones here. Like I said, I got that big one right next to the tire. A couple little ones down here. Another fatty down here. And then I've got this big old sucker back in the corner. And then I got another one down there. And then I have purple potatoes in here, which are doing pretty good. Sorry. So that'll be getting, I'm almost ready to harvest these ones. The plant's pretty much dying off. I do have a little greenery on there, but I probably got about another maybe 2-3 weeks on this before I have to fully harvest. Oh, and then check this out. I just noticed this. I've got new flowers on my lemon plant. So more Meyer lemons for me. I'll trim this guy up a little bit this season, and I might consider transferring it into a different container. These containers are fairly wide, So I might transfer it over to one of these brown ones. They're a little taller. It'll give it a deeper root system, but they're not as wide. A little bit more narrow, but deeper. So it'll give it a deeper root system. But yeah, so far doing good. My onions are still onioning, as always. These things never stop. They don't die. I can't get rid of them. They just keep going. And this was the worst of all corn failures. I had 3-4 good corn cobs on there and nothing. I got like 5 kernels off of each one. I was so sad. And then blueberries. My blueberry bush doing fantastic. Other ones are a little struggly, except for that one over there. So this blueberry and this blueberry are doing good. I'm going to have to switch this one and that one to a different spot to see if they can't recover them. And then there's this absolute masterpiece of cannas. About 15 stalks in there, and that thing's getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to have to put this in ground or in its own steel container because these plastic ones will die. Although I do have another spare one of these, so I might just stick all of those in there. I just stepped on something. As you can see, we've already started to clear up and prep soil for winter. I took out all of the sunflowers that were in here, so now I have a walking space. And now we're back to square one where we started the video. And this is just the outlook from this side. Back to there. I'm going to stand in the shade because I'm roasting and my phone's freaking out. But thank you folks for watching thus far. Hope you stuck with me to the end. I do appreciate it if you did. If you managed to make it this far, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And hit the all notifications. That way you can get updates on any sort of future videos that I put out. And while you're at it, share this out with friends and family. I hope you guys enjoyed this informative, well, I don't even know if it was informative, but update video that I have, since I haven't done one in a while. But thank you folks again for watching. Once again, so this will be Fox It Outdoors, aka Cliff, signing off. You folks have a great week.